Face it. Welcome to the King Mullah TV podcast. Welcome to the King Mullah TV podcast. Welcome to the King Mullah TV podcast, y'all. Welcome, y'all, to the King Mullah TV podcast. I am King. First of all, thank you all for listening, taking the time out of your day to listen to what I got to say. It's a truly nice thing. It's a truly good, fortunate thing that I love to do. Today's topic is about facing your fears. All right, let's go with a definition of fear. New Oxford American Dictionary defines fear as an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or threat. Now, Merriam-Webster's defines fear as an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger. Okay. Now, that's actually something I can do something with that. Now, hold on. Let me look at the etymology too. Etymology. Let's just get into that. Let's see. It doesn't have an old date, but it does say Old Saxon, so probably you could put a date on that, or Old English. I'm not going to care to dive deeper because we're just doing the etymology. It's just what it means. It's from Old Middle English, fair. Old English, fair. That's F-A-E-R, with the A and the E like stitched together or fused together. And it says it was defined as calamity, sudden danger, peril, sudden attack. Okay, so they are, and from Proto-Germanic faraz, meaning danger. Okay, so all these words meaning danger in all the other languages that they use, Dutch, German, danger, all that stuff. Okay, so notice how all of them say danger. All of them say there's some type of danger. Or threat, some type of threat, or something that you believe is going to cause pain. Now, fear has evolved into something more than just from danger. It has been it's always been mental, but it's evolved in something way greater, to where there is no danger present, but people still have fear of what's next, like fear of the unknown. Like fear because they don't know what's going to happen if they do a certain action or if they make a certain choice. I'm here to tell you today that fear is, like they said, it's just an emotion, and you shouldn't lean so hard into that emotion. I think, I remember when Will Smith said, now, let me just turn off these alarms so it doesn't interrupt me again. Okay, it was just one. Cool. I remember when Will Smith said on a video, he said, it was a quick video on TikTok or something. He said, if you can't fight the fear, just do it scared. Now, this is more so like me telling you guys, whatever you're fearful about, if it's not an extreme situation, but even if it is an extreme situation, if it's a way to help you get free or to remove that fear from your life or make your life more peaceful, you should still do it. But make sure you prepare if it's one of those extreme situations. Prepare for what's next. And even if you don't know what is next, just prepare any way that you know how to. So like if you have a goal, right? This is mostly going to be like goal-based and stuff. And you're afraid to achieve that goal because you're afraid of failure. Or also on the inverse of that, afraid of success. Because some people, they're not afraid of failure because if you don't try, you've already failed. You took yourself out of the game. You quit. But a lot of people don't talk about that. They're actually afraid of success. They're actually afraid that it will actually work out. And that's a big thing that a lot of people do not talk about. So when you face your fear for one thing, like I said, you should not lean into that unless you really don't know any other way to get away from it, but you still got to do it. Y'all got to learn how to push yourselves beyond that fear. Okay, that's where, because after that fear, you find the freedom. You find, whatever you've most desired, what you've been asking for, it's there. It's waiting on you. Okay? It's waiting on you to push past, to break your limits. You're limited in the way that you see fear. Because if you let fear control your life, you'll never get done, and you probably will have a lot of regrets that you should have done this when you were younger or something like that. There's a lot of people right now who are regretting not doing certain things when they were younger. Me, for sure. But it wasn't for me, that was a different type of regret. It wasn't fear-based at all. It was procrastination. That's what it was for me. But you got to push yourself beyond fear. Fear just is a fleeting emotion. Okay, you're not fearful all the time unless you live in a war zone. That way, I can't even say nothing. But some people would say fear isn't even real, but danger for sure is. I like to say also, fear and danger, fear is a symptom of danger. So if danger is actually present, then fear will be around. Okay, you will have that fear. And fear is not a bad thing. Like, you need fear to assess danger. If you're not fearful all the time, you can push. That's what courage is. Courage is pushing yourself past fear. Even though you know it's fearful and you really don't know what the outcome is, but you're pushing yourself to move beyond it. That's courage. Now, we're not in the battle zone, and usually most people don't have to deal with that, but they're dealing with the war within themselves. And fear plays a big part in that, and also overall in society, because a lot of things that we could do, and it's really simple to do, a lot of people won't do because they're fearful of what's going to happen next. And they're fearful of the unknown. They're fearful that, they might not be able to feed their kids. It's valid, but it's also selfish. And fear also can come out of selfishness. Like the collective does not, let's just say the collective does not want to stop shopping at this place for a certain amount of time. Because they're fearful, because they want it's got the best prices. Well, like I said, that's a selfish reason. It's got the best prices, and they don't know how to make a statement or stand up for themselves. That's what fear could be a part of that, but that's selfish fear. It's a fear based off selfishness. So what y'all need to do, like I said, break your limits. There's a lot out there that you could be doing. You could be taking those risks. You could be going on that trip. You could be signing up for that new hobby that you've been eyeing, that you've been interested in. You could be looking for a promotion, but you're afraid to ask your boss because you somehow feel like you maybe in a little bit part of your mind that you're not worth it, or that you don't want to get fired, or that you feel like you're asking for too much. No, grab it. Go ahead and do it. Because, if they fire you off of something like that, were they really a good company to begin with? No. But that's probably a very rare extreme situation that, hopefully nobody's really ridiculous about. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's just a ridiculous answer. And, there's measures that you can take to, if that were to happen, you can absolutely get them in trouble for that. So, and some legal business. But yes, facing your fears, I think I'm gonna just say mine. I faced my fears to, to apply for jobs that, that asking for all these qualifications. I just kept applying because I feel like, listen, even though I hate that they say you need it to get a job, you need experience, but you need experience to get a job. So I just started applying because I know my background is good in the positions that I'm looking for. So, and I'm willing to learn. That's the biggest thing. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to be hands-on. I'm willing to learn from the bottom up. I don't need, I get the certifications and stuff like that, but I feel like if you really want a good worker, you build them from the bottom up. Because there's a lot of people willing to learn how to do things the way that whatever company they're applying to is willing to teach them. These people are very teachable. Apparently, a lot of jobs are just fake, but I'm getting besides what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm going a little off the deep end. It's still relevant to facing your fears, but it's not as relevant as actually applying for the job as, you face your fear. So, yeah, you can apply. There's, what else did I face my fear? Also just releasing some of my videos. Even though they weren't the best, they weren't gonna go viral, I still would do it because it allows me to be consistent and without even thinking about fear. Because I'm doing it because I want to do it. That is the main focus point that I'm doing. I'm doing it just because I want to do it. I want to prove to myself that I can keep myself consistent. And I think that's a very important thing that people do not really consider, because the fear has a hold on them, a really big hold on them. And I think they should really evaluate themselves, some self-analysis to really realize that, if they wanted to take a trip, they got to save up. But a lot of times, a lot of people, mindset isn't fixed to want to travel because they're fearful that they won't have enough money or they might come up short somewhere. Is if you got enough to travel, you got enough to pick a place to stay. All the extra stuff, a lot of stuff is low budget, okay? Traveling is a very big industry, okay? They have budget-friendly travels. But, some people, stuck in their ways. And they don't want to get out because they haven't really tried to open their mind to the possibilities. Once you open your mind to the possibilities, ain't no sky's the limit type of thing. You can go beyond. There's just so much out there. There's so much that you can do. There's so many possibilities. Like, why would you want to limit yourself? And I just, having a deeper understanding of that allows me to push past my fears. Allows me to do what I want to do. Allows me to even post these podcast episodes. Even when I started with my first 10 episodes, they weren't all that. But I kept doing it and I kept at it. And guess what? I started making moves to get better sound quality because I was really just doing it off my phone. And the mic is okay, but I needed something that's a lot more professional. And I get to use my phone while I'm talking. And, having this this setup that I have, it really helps me keep everything together and allows me to do what I'm doing with such high quality. With this mic is really good. And this setup helps me, especially with the reverb and knowing how the levels and having the sound effects. It's really cool. And also it having Bluetooth, and that really helps because if I wanted to play something, I could play something and you'd be able to hear it too. I wouldn't have to do nothing extra. I really love my setup. So me pushing past my fears allowed me to make this podcast. Me pushing past my fears allowed me to, do the things that I'm actually wanting to do because I actually want to see my life as, working from home. I do want to work from home and I want to travel. So that's what I'm doing. I'm actually going to start going harder on saving up because I really do want to travel. I got to go places. I'm not going to stay here and just sit, My life is going to be, in the house and also seeing the world. That is me. That's my goals, okay? Work from home and seeing the world. Traveling. Nothing wrong with that at all, So yeah, y'all need to face your fears. So let's recap. Fear, it's a mental emotion, right? And emotions are fleeting. So don't let the fear stop you from getting what you want to do. Danger is real when you get that sense of that feeling, that fear. But sometimes danger is not present. It's all in your head. And that fear can be the main driving point. And there could also be another symptom of anxiety and stuff like that. Certain things that keep you from wanting to do anything, that got your nervous system in a tizzy. Okay, when you push yourself and you break your limits, you will be doing yourself a huge favor. I'm telling you, you do that, you're going to do well. All right? So I need y'all to drink y'all water, okay? Water is good for you. We're made of 70% water, okay? So hydration is very important. I need y'all to, if you don't have the sun out, if it's raining or something, have them vitamin D dietary supplements handy. Talk to your dietitian, nutritionist, or physician. Get your self in optimal health. You get yourself in good health. And, be kind to people. There's a lot going on. And, a lot of things that I'm seeing on the news and a lot of things people are going through, so just be kind to them. Being kind can make someone's day, or it can make your day. So, always practice kindness, and even if that kindness is just not saying anything when you really, really want to. Okay, I know that feeling too. So I don't fall for that anymore because, not saying I don't fall for that, but I take a step back and I really assess, do I really want to get into this with this person? Do I really care that much to get into it with this person when I know the answer and the way that they behave is going to be the same? Why do I have to keep repeating myself? Why do I have to keep going in circles back and forth with this person? You don't have to. And that could be online as well. Online, offline. Do I really need to engage with these people? Are they really genuine? General rule of thumb, if they don't have a profile picture, do not, engage. Unless that's what you want to do. But just be warned, okay? Usually trolling and all that rage baiting stuff comes from them. But still, be kind to people and then, dip out. If they're nasty, if you want to respond, you can. If you don't want to respond, that's also a sign of kindness, okay? All right, so I'm King. It's King Mullah TV podcast, y'all. I'm out of here. Doozy.